there is another very important question asked in the comment section. So I decided to bring it here so we can learn together and at the same time to allow contributions, input from different professionals. The person asked the question, look at it on the screen. He said, what is actually the difference between a full and half conduit? Full conduit and half conduit. A full conduit is a type of conduit system in which cables are concealed in the pipe and are routed from one point to another within the installation fully, whereas half conduit installation system is a system whereby cables are only concealed in the pipe in order to route them through the walls, but in the roof, cables are left dangling, laying on our roof, unprotected, unconcealed. Both methods are common in electrical installation. Each of the two has advantages and disadvantages. For example, half conduit. In half conduit, I was invited to actually carry out some maintenance in one building, sometimes in 2019 or 2020, around Agege. Agege is in Lagos State, Nigeria. On getting there, the building has an half conduit electrical installation. So getting there, we were trying to find out where the problem lies. The breakers has been tripping, and they've tried all their efforts to rectify it, all to no avail. So on getting there, we tried to switch off and isolate the supply. After that, we started troubleshooting where the problem lies. We later discovered that in the roof, cables are not concealed in pipes. Cables are just run on the roof, which is half conduit. Getting there, virtually all the cables were naked. That is, we did not even see cables there because cable is the combination of the insulation and the conductor. But the moment there is no insulation again, it's only conductor that was there. So everything was left naked, only conductors. In fact, thank God we isolated the supply before we started troubleshooting where the problem lied. Rodents, rats in that area, they are like human beings. If you see their sizes, they are in big sizes. So, and they found their way into the roof and finish up all the insulations of the cable. And as a result, conductors were lying over one another and thereby create a short circuit. And that has been the reason why the breaker continued to trip. We met a lot of cables destroyed. It was since that time I concluded in my mind that full conduit is better than half conduit. Another advantage of full conduit over half conduit, apart from rodent attack, which I cited just now, is that during maintenance, if a cable gets burnt or you want to probably change a cable in the installation to a bigger size, just from one end, attach a new cable to the one you actually want to replace, attach it to it, and go to the other end, draw it out. And as the old cable goes out, the new cable comes in with it, if it is a full conduit. But if it is half conduit, you still need to go into the roof to remove the cable for replacement. Another advantage, beautiful advantage, is that cables, when they are concealed in the pipes, they are safer. They are safer, that is, they have constant ambient temperature in most cases. But when you leave your cable in the roof, even the day temperature also affects the temperature surroundings the cable. But in the other way around, most of the electricians, I said it in one of my past videos, when they want to carry out full conduits, they exceed the space factor which is allowed in conduits. In conduits, you are allowed to make use of 75% of the total space available in the pipe, while the remaining 25% is left as a space in order to have a reasonable ambient temperature. So, but if you fail to observe this space factor while you are carrying out your installation, you fill up the whole space in the pipe with cables, When you need to route like 8 cables together, you can split them into 2 pipes so that few number of cables will be concealed in the pipe in order to allow reasonable ambient temperature. What do I mean by ambient temperature? The temperature surrounding cables. So, but if there are so many choked up in the pipe, the ambient temperature rises, and this in turn affects the insulation quality of the cable. When cables start carrying current, their temperature also rises. Coupled with the temperature of their surroundings, it makes the temperature surrounding the cable to be so high, which can eventually break down the insulation property of the cable. So, provided you keep reasonable ambient temperature, you observe space factor, full conduit remains the best over half conduit. Most people choose half conduit simply because of they want to reduce the cost of installation. And when you look at the differences, the difference between half and full conduit is just the cost of the pipe, which is nothing compared to the future problem that may arise as a result of leaving your cable dangling or running open in the roof. So it causes a lot of problems. It makes the installation, it makes the fault tracing difficult, it makes the replacement of cables difficult, and it exposes cables to rodents. Even some electricians, when they want to go into the roof, they have to go with their torchlight and be very careful. Most of these people that carry out this half conduit do not actually tape the joints in the roof. If mistakenly you step on it, you are going nowhere other than the heaven. So, in my own opinion, I choose a full conduit over an half conduit. But over to you, my people in the house. What is your opinion? Full or half conduit?